What's going on, everybody? It is me, your boy, Flash Jones, back again with another video. And then in this one, as you guys can see, I have a little configuration deal going on, and we're going to talk about that. So, that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on in to this video. So, like I said, I have a little bit of a configuration deal type situation going on, and we're going to talk about that. And I kind of want you guys' thoughts and opinions on it as well. And so what I have going on is, as you guys see, I got these tracks on this 3-foot piece of wood here. And none of these tracks are in. As you guys see, these are all still moving around. They're just placed in just to kind of simulate and give me an idea of what I want to do and how I'm going to do everything. And so what I wanted to kind of get you guys' thoughts and ideas on is, should I do, what is it, 6 tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should I do 6 tracks? And obviously they're not going to be spaced like this. They're going to be spaced, nicely. I'm going to take a tape measure that I got here, measure it all out so that it's evenly spaced on here. But essentially this is a rough placement of what everything will essentially look like. And then I just got to figure out, I'm going to bring all the tracks all the way to the very end on this end and leave all the excess hanging on this end so that I can wire them up for track power, so that I can do rolling or locomotive reviews and we can check out the sounds on them. But and then this is what I'm thinking as of right now. If I were to take a track out, say for instance, like we took that one out, then obviously they will be spaced, a bit more spaciously, and it still looks good like that. That's 5 tracks. There's 3, 4, 5 here. But I don't know. It's not like I need to be able to go in here and fit my fingers in here in order to move stuff around, because it's not a yard. It's just a piece of wood that's going to have the ability to be able to run trains on, essentially, not run trains, but at least listen to them, power them, and whatnot. So I just want to kind of get you guys' thoughts on that and see what you guys are thinking. So like I said, that's what we got. And also, in addition to showing you guys that, as you can clearly see behind all the rest of this stuff, is I have everything that I need in order to pave this. And I might start, and I might just do a little bit on this end and see how it comes out, because instead of using the paint and patch that I used last time, I'm thinking about using this stuff, okay? And the reason why I wanted to try this out is because I had some people, when I did it the first time, when I did the paving the first time, hit me up and they were like, "Hey, can you use generic or regular spackling?" And I was like, you know what, I wouldn't see why you couldn't. And so, some guys asked me to try it out, and I got emails asking for me to try it out and whatnot. And so I figured this might be a good time to try it out. And another reason why I wanted to give this one specifically a try is this one is much more heavy weight than that paint and patch. That paint and patch was specifically, and even sit on there, and I'll post the pictures in there because I took a couple pictures of them. And it definitely goes on smooth, but one thing that I noticed about that is that it's so light that it's kind of hard sometimes to put it down. Like, you going into it, with your spackling knife, you go into it and you try to lay it down, it kind of wants to come with you. And it's not a bad thing if you do it before, if you do it quick enough to not let it dry on you. And it doesn't take long for that stuff to start drying. I wanted to try this because this one, it goes on pink, of course, and it dries white. As you guys can see, all this stuff here. I think that because this is so much more heavier and it's so much more dense, I should say, that's probably a better word. Since it's much more dense, that once I put this down, I think it'll stay. Of course, I won't know until I try it. I'm thinking about trying it on a separate piece, just putting the track down and trying it on a separate sheet, just so I don't have to worry about dealing with if it ruins this thing. But I don't know. I'm still thinking. I got plenty of scrap track that I could use in order to try it out, so I'm not really worried about that. So I'm thinking that's probably what I'm gonna do, and I'll probably start by just placing it in between the rails on a scrap track and seeing what that outcome is. And that's actually probably what I'll do. And if I do decide to do that, I'll also include that on this video as well. But guys, that is pretty much it for this little video. I may or may not include the additional piece that I'm thinking about doing. If I do, you guys of course will see that. But if not, I will catch you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think about this. Whether, well, should I go 5 tracks or should I go 6 tracks? Like I said, don't worry about the additional tracks and, oh, you might want to save it for later. I don't care about that. This is all used track. I've been kind of diligently saving my track from my previous layout. So this is all used track. And so it wouldn't bother me to have to use it again, because this is why I bought it, to use it. And so I think I'm kind of leaning towards the 6, just because I don't mind having to not having a whole bunch of space in between each track, because it's not, like I said, it's not like this is a layout where we're gonna have multiple people trying to get the fat fingers in between there. And I think that's still even enough space even there to kind of go in and pick up a boxcar or a locomotive by the center. So I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards the 6, just in case I did want to. I did get a big order, like I got the boxcars coming. Most of them would at least kind of sort of maybe fit on here, maybe not, but you guys get the idea. And so if I did do the 6, kind of give you a quick idea, it's a 1 foot across, so they would have to be somewhere in the ballpark of 1 to 1 1/4 inches apart. So you figure this one's at 11 right here, and this guy would probably have to be, well, even right there, it seems fine. Like right at 9, so that's 2 inches apart. That'd be 7, that'd be 5, that'd be 3, and 1 would be all the way over there. So yeah, 2 inches apart, well, I think would still be fine. But that's where we are right now. And of course, I'll share you guys all this, what I decided to do in the end. So thank you guys for watching this. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is your boy Flash Jones. I'm out. Peace. Alright guys, so real quick, so I got my smaller piece of wood out, and I got some tracks laid out. Luckily, I went into my tote that was full of track, and I was able to find 4 pieces of rail that pretty much fit exactly what I needed, which was about 2 feet for this slate that I got here. And so what I kind of did, you may or may not be able to see these, but right here at the ends of these tracks, I have little tick marks to indicate the center of the track, where it would be. And what that is since this piece of wood, this slate here is 8 feet wide, I have these tracks marked at the 1, 3, 5, and 7. That gives me both just a little bit of wiggle room on the outsides of the track, and of course 1, 3, 5, and 7, they're all 2 inches apart, so that's more than enough space for wiggle room on the insides of the tracks as well. I didn't really plan to do 2 of these pieces, simply for the purpose of the same exact thing being, I was gonna have the bigger one back there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the bigger one that's back there, that's the main one that I'm gonna use. But I wanted to do something with this product first to see if it was legit and if it was gonna work. Because if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to go back and get the paint and patch and use that. But I get that it'll work. I just don't want to gamble on my piece that I plan to use for everything if I get a layout. So we're going to, what we always do, get some gloves on, and we're gonna pave. We're only gonna pave these 2. Obviously gonna glue it down, but we're gonna pave these 2 tracks first, and we're only gonna go up to about here or so, just so I have, it's about the length of 1 car. Maybe we might go halfway. It's the length of about 2 cars, so I can see how it moves and and what it feels like and how it reacts with the wood, with the tracks and everything. And so that's probably what we're going to do in this one. But again, still giving you guys ideas on that backtrack, and we're just going to see what happens with this. I mean, if it goes well, we may end up paving the whole thing. I don't know. But that's what I'm planning to do for right now, is to try this out and see what happens with it. So you guys stand by. I'm going to go get some gloves, and we're going to start the pave. We're going to get these guys glued down, and once it's glued down, we're going to come back and pave it. So see you guys in a little bit. Guys, so I got my lines drawn out on this slate here. 1, 3, 5, and 7, of course, is the inch line, the inch mark of where they're going to be. There's 1 inch in, obviously 3, 5, and 7 inches in from the edge. The reason why I did these 2 outer lines is so that I know how far I need to go with the glue, and also so that I know exactly what one track is. When you got all these lines, it's very easy to get confused. You might think, oh, it's not once you get going, but trust me, it's easy to get confused when you're looking at all these lines, and you might forget where you're at. So that's why I did that. But essentially, gonna get the glue on, and that's gonna be that. So, as you guys can kind of see here, I have the cans of sauce and beans here weighing the track down to keep it in place and let it dry. It's been a few hours now. I meant to do this just within about an hour after I got them all down, but you know how life is. You start doing something and something comes up, and something else comes up, and something else comes up, and something else comes up. So, essentially now, we're going to get all this stuff off, and we're going to try to attempt to start paving. Now, real quick, because I don't know. Alright guys, so as you guys can see here, I got 2 tracks down. Obviously, as you guys can see, since I'm holding this thing quite literally vertically and even all the way over, these tracks are glued down. Now, one thing I want you guys to see is, remember all that purple that we saw from the glue stick that I put down in order to get the tracks to stick? You don't see any of that purple under there, do you? I don't see any purple, and you guys shouldn't see it either. Unless my eyes are weird, maybe your eyes are weird, I don't know. But I don't see any purple under there, and so there you go. So it's 100% dried, and now we are ready to start applying some of this product. So like I said, we're only going to go halfway today. And so what we're going to do is take some of this stuff here, masking tape. We're going to go halfway. I'm going to mask off everything this side, south, so to say, and on everything on this end back, and then the edges as well too, just because I just want to see what happens. So if you are doing the same method, you want to make sure you get your tracks in the arrangement that you want them to be in, because this is going to be the last chance you get to arrange your tracks, or I'm sorry, not your tracks, your rails. So if you want your rails to be in a different position, now is the final chance you have to arrange that. So guys, this is a day later, and of course you guys saw the pictures that I put in there, showing the, so to say, in progress from yesterday, from it transitioning from the definite pink that it was now to the white. I'm gonna pull you off the tripod here so you can kind of get a nice close-up look at this, just to check it out and inspect. So as we can kind of see here, this product says that it won't crack or shrink. Let me get me a little pointer. It says won't crack or shrink, but as we see in here, we got some crackage. Yeah, not, is it that necessary? Probably not. I did plan to come across here. The main reason why I'm recording this right now is because I'm gonna put another coat of this down again right now. One thing that I did not do is, I guess the directions said that you're supposed to stir it. I did not stir it, so I don't know how crucial that is, but I'm gonna stir it before I put this next coat down. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do this section of rail as well, so that we'll have these two whole tracks fully paved on. But I just want to show you guys, give you guys a little quick in progress. So next thing you guys will see, I'm gonna tape the rest of this. Sorry, I'm gonna tape the rest of this section off here. Then we're going to come across and give this a what do you want to call it? Give this a second coat, and then we will come on down and fill in this area. So I'm actually going to have to pull off the tape, at least on this, and I can probably hit that in when the time comes to finish it all off. But we'll pull the tape off on this end and hit these guys up to fill it in, and then we'll finish off this whole section. So guys, it's been another day later, and I'm coming in to just check this this area out. And off camera last night, I did come in and give you a run through to get the profile on the rails and then the pavement, so that you have the effect of the flange waves. You can really see it a little bit better on the back track, even with the distance of the camera being far away. But essentially, guys, I definitely need to get this back half another coat, which is what I'm going to do now. And also, on a side note, even with this side still needing another coat, because you can't tell, but it's not as high as this side is. But in the end, you still, as you see, it's very free rolling. You should still be able to roll pretty easily across it, even once it's paved. So if your trucks are just going like nyet, nyet, and stopping, that means you need to put a little more pressure down and really run those trucks into it. Do it